aspect of applied linguistics seen under a critical point of view is that being critical implies one of the most important aspects of the critical framework of applied linguistics: critical thinking. This consists in a set of skills that can be taught to students for them to apply a critical point of view and search for critical aspects in different subjects. What is important about the critical thinking understanding is that there are two theories which define it. 1. Critical thinking most important aspect is to achieve political critics and social relations, although it states that critical distance and objectivity is achievable. 2. Critical is always engaging with questions of power and inequality. However, it rejects any possibility of critical distance or objectivity. Now, the most important field in which applied linguistics, and therefore critical applied linguistics, can be applied on is language teaching, and of course the goals and the role that the target language plays on the life of the learner.
Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Today I want you to open your textbooks in the page you cannot understand, right?
¿Ah?
Quiero que abra su libro en la página 30 porque hoy día vamos a ver pasado simple.
Oye, hijo, no entiendo nada, ¿no?
Ay, que
aprendieron una madre de nada.
Oye, yo escuché eso. No digáis que el inglés no sirve para nada. El inglés ahora es el idioma universal. Todo el mundo habla inglés. Si queréis tener una buena pega más grande, tenéis que hablar inglés. ¿Cómo creéis que yo conseguí esta pega? Porque hablo inglés, po.
To understand the goals of language teaching, first we need to understand the role that language plays in people's lives. And to understand the role that target language plays, we need to understand the three perspectives in which second language learning is viewed. These following are the linguistic, the psychological, and the social. The three perspectives pose the same questions in different order. The first one, linguistic, is all about what we learn. The second one, the psychological, poses as the main question how we learn a second language. And the third one, which is the most important for our use, the social, asks as first question why we learn the target language. What the student has just asked himself, why do we learn English, is also one of the most important characteristics of critical applied linguistics. The feature of being critical, asking at every moment what is the purpose of doing something.
Pero profesor, ¿qué anda tanto con el inglés que no queremos parecer a los gringos, acaso?
Mira, lo que pasa es que no nos queramos parecer, pero igual los tipos cachan un poco más. Además, que incluso en los países donde no se habla inglés, hablan inglés. Entonces, por eso aquí en Chile y en todas partes, obviamente el inglés es algo que abre puertas.
To understand what has just happened in the classroom, we first need to understand the context in which the world has been developing over the last 200 years. The British Empire once ruled a fifth of the world by having direct dominance over its overseas territories. Then, after World War II, the direct son of the English was the United States of America, having a money empire in almost all over the world. So, it is easy for us now to understand why English is spoken everywhere. The political and economic influences of these countries affect directly in contexts such as the one we are witnessing. Therefore, we establish a macro relationship between politics and economics with language learning, a major field in applied linguistics. The situation we have just pointed out is an example and manifestation of the linguistic imperialism we are immersed in, as well as the fact of critical self-reflexivity area closely related to critical applied linguistics. So, by asking ourselves the simple question of why do we learn English, we pose relationships between fields that apparently are not related at all.
Después de la muy necesaria intervención del señor Carmarino, vamos a ver el pasado simple mediante la historia de un inglés llamado Henry, who likes not to have his favorite tea with scones. Lo que pasa es que a los ingleses les gusta tomar el té a la siempre acá, tienen una galletita que se llama scones. Intentamos ver esa historia y lo voy a aprender pasado simple.
Profe, ¿por qué
What we have just seen before, it's a very good example of a decontextualized context. Here in Chile, most of the books we use in the classroom are not made in our country. So, the examples and exercises shown in books are like an alien context for Chilean students, which makes more difficult the learning of students due to the reality is completely different from the one in English books. Therefore, students cannot ground their knowledge obtained in class, because their learning is based on concepts that don't even exist in their dialect and culture.
Ah, ya sabes que córtela. ¿Por qué mejor no hacer el ejercicio 1 y 2 de la página que les dije?
So, the relation existing between critical applied linguistics and the goals of language teaching is now very clear. By asking ourselves the question of why we learn English, we make clear the role that the target language plays on the Chilean society. A language which is posed as lingua franca and spoken everywhere opens us for you, be it by getting a better job or by communicating with everybody. And now that we have made clear the role of English, we ask ourselves the question, why is this situation like this? And we established relationships between applied linguistics, politics and economics, being aware of this linguistic imperialism conducted by the Anglo-Saxon culture towards the other countries. So, being aware of this situation, it is very hard for us as English teachers not being part of this imperialism, but at the same time, being aware by making this mental exercise is one way of not being part of it, and we should show this implicitly or explicitly in the classroom.